Hello, Traverse City, and welcome back to Traverse Talks. I'm your host, Jim Horn, and tomorrow we're looking ahead to Monday, May 4th, when our City Commission gathers in the second floor chambers at the Governmental Center for what is shaping up to be one of the most consequential meetings of the spring. On the table, a brand new city budget, a multi-million-dollar reimagining of Lot B and the farmers market, a push for safer streets, a conversation about the future of the Foster building, and a quiet but important question about who speaks for Traverse City at our regional airport. And that, my friends, is long overdue. Topping the agenda under new business is the initial delivery of the city manager's proposed budget for fiscal year 2026-2027. This is the document that sets the city's priorities for the next 12 months, from public safety to parks, from streets to the marina. Alongside the city's budget, commissioners will receive the proposed budgets for Traverse City Light and Power and the Downtown Development Authority. If approved, a public hearing will be scheduled for May 18th, giving residents a formal chance to weigh in before adoption. If you care about how Traverse City spends your tax dollars, mark your calendar. This is where it begins. May 4th, that's Monday. If you have something to say, get on the podium. Under old business, the commission picks up where it left off on the Lot B reconstruction and farmers market pavilion project. This is the long-anticipated rebuild of the parking lot and pavilion just south of the river, the home of our beloved Sarah Hardy Farmers Market. On Monday, commissioners will consider authorizing construction contracts and a funding agreement with the Downtown Development Authority that lays out exactly what the DDA will pay for. It takes 5 affirmative votes to move this forward, so watch the dais closely, because this is the kind of project that defines a downtown generation forever. Also new on Monday's agenda, a proposal to commit up to $96,000 as a local match for the federal Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. If the city wins the grant, that money funds 2 things: a citywide safety action plan and a series of complete streets demonstration projects. So what's the translation? Bike lanes, crosswalks, lower speeds, better data on where crashes happen and why. This is a 5-vote item, and it ties directly into ongoing conversations about pedestrian safety along corridors like 8th Street, Garfield, and Front. Next, a discussion item that may not have a vote attached, but is worth your attention. Commissioners will talk through the future of the city-owned Foster building at 181 East Grandview Parkway. That's a small brick building tucked between the bay and the open space. It has a long history, once a museum, later a city office, and the question now, what comes next? No formal action is on the table this week, but the direction the commissioners point will shape what happens to that piece of waterfront real estate. And personally, I think this is long overdue. Commissioner Heather Shaw is bringing forward a request that could change how Traverse City is represented at one of our most important regional bodies. She's asking the commission to formally request that the Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners place a city commission member on the Northwest Regional Airport Authority. Cherry Capital Airport is a major economic engine, and right now the city does not have a designated voice at the table. Expect a thoughtful debate about regional cooperation, governance, and the seat the city has or doesn't have in shaping the airport's future. As I said earlier, that is really, really long overdue. And a few more items worth flagging. Under old business, the commission will discuss the draft scope of work and scoring rubric for the upcoming request for proposals for legal services, essentially how the city plans to evaluate candidates for city attorney. Also under old business, a proposed amendment to the lease with Crooked Tree Arts Council, extending their use of the city-owned Carnegie Building on 6th Street through October of 2027. And on the consent calendar, an updated stormwater ordinance to comply with the state MS4 permit requirements. That's a 3-year contract for a school resource officer at City Central High School, and a new resort liquor license for Mill District Food and Beverage Company on Woodmere Avenue. And to kick off the meeting, a feel-good moment, Mayor Amy Shamrow will present a proclamation declaring May 3rd through May 9th International Compost Awareness Week, with Megan Alexander of Carter's Compost on hand to accept. Oh, that will be a real feel-good moment. So, that's your roadmap for Monday night. A budget unveiling, a downtown rebuild, a safer streets push, a waterfront conversation, and a question of who speaks for the city at the regional table. And that regional table is the NRAA. If you can be there, the meeting starts at 7 p.m. in the second floor chambers at 400 Boardman. If you can't, we'll be back here on Trevor's Talks to break down what happened and what comes next. Until then, hey folks, stay curious, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time on Trevor's Talks.